It's crazy how short our attention spans have become. The media culture just has been such a quick cut, movies just going from one thing to another and following several plot lines and lots of special effects and action, that when a movie comes about and it's a little slower paced, that it takes its time, it's really kind of a surprise and usually a bit refreshing. Such is the case with The Secret World of Arrietty, which I got a chance to see. It follows the story that you know from the books The Borrowers, and if you haven't seen those, maybe you remember the TV show The Littles that happened while I was growing up. But it's this idea that there are little people who live in our homes, and when we drop things, they borrow them. And that's how things get lost. And that old wives' tale has made its way into fiction storytelling, and that's what The Secret Life of Arrietty is based on. And it's a fairly straightforward telling of that tale. Especially straightforward considering who did it. It is a Studio Ghibli film. They are known, well, I think their last one was Ponyo, which is anything but a straightforward movie. It's very strange, almost surreal. It's about a girl who's kind of a girl and a fish, and I'm not sure I understood it. Howl's Moving Castle, I think, is also a Studio Ghibli film. But those kind of movies where I usually come away going, yeah, that was beautiful. What did it mean? That's how I come away from a Studio Ghibli movie, usually. Secret Life, or Secret World of Arrietty, not so much. Pretty straightforward. I understood it. I knew what was going on. It tells that tale, and it does it in a fairly straightforward way. And it takes its time doing it. I will say, right off the bat, gorgeous. You would expect nothing more. It's hand-drawn animation, beautifully rendered. It looks amazing on the big screen. Just the movement of the animation. It's a very particular thing that they do, but it always conveys to me a real sense of fluidity and movement that I really enjoy seeing on the screen. And the characters were heartfelt, and you could sense the relationships between them, between the mother and the father, and Arrietty and the bean. That's what they call human beings, or beans. The bean boy, the sick bean boy. It was really, the characters were really well drawn and done well. I will say one negative thing about this movie that kept me from just like out of the theater loving it, is, and I don't think it's the pacing, I think it's more than that, I just lost interest a few times. And I don't think that's because of the slow pacing. I think that's because the story is a little basic to maintain that hour-and-a-half time period, that feature-length film. It's just a very basic story. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, but there were times during the movie, not that I checked my watch, but that I was like, okay, I'm ready for the next plot point, or I'm ready for the next thing, can we move on? And, but even in those moments, it was beautiful to look at. Overall, I think this is a great movie. Maybe not one of the best of the year for me, but certainly as far as family movies go and animated movies go, I think it's one that every member of the family can enjoy, if for no other reason that it's really neat to look at, and it's an interesting story to engage with.